The Devil All the Time is directed by Antonio Campos, and it is about a young man with a troubled past who vows to keep his family safe in a tiny town full of shady characters. And that's really all this movie's about. It's really simple. It's a very simple, straightforward plot with some twisting side plots, but we'll get into that later. The main thing that attracted me to this movie was its stacked cast. Cause you've got people like Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Bill Skarsgård, Sebastian Stan, Mia, Wasikowska, I hope, and Jason Clarke. Like, there's a lot of talent in this movie. So obviously, the first main positive about it is that all of the performances are top notch. And now I'm just holding true to what I've been thinking for a while now, and that is that every time I see Robert Pattinson do something else, I'm an even bigger fan, because he was gross in this. But he's supposed to be. Like, that's his character. He's a despicable piece of shit. But Robert Pattinson was really good in it. You don't really see Tom Holland or Robert Pattinson until around the second act. The first act is Bill Skarsgård's show. Before Tom Holland's character is played by Tom Holland, and he's like a little boy, his dad is Bill Skarsgård, and he's a war veteran. Like, he just came home from World War II, and he's a little unhinged. He's not in the greatest mental space, but he adds a lot of heart to this really damaged character, so it really makes you conflicted when he does things in the latter half of the first act where you're like, am I still on your side? I don't think I am, but I feel really bad for you. Nobody in this movie is really a good person, like, except for like the side characters. All of the main cast, they're all kind of terrible people. Sadly, the performances are really the main glue that's holding this movie together. And if it weren't for those really great top-notch performances from everyone, this movie would be really, really boring. Through the whole film, I was mentally comparing it to There Will Be Blood, mainly just because they're both period piece dramas. They both take place like a long time ago, and they're both very dramatic. But even more than that, Robert Pattinson and Harry Melling's characters both, if you like put them together, they like make up Paul Dano's character in There Will Be Blood. Granted, Daniel Day-Lewis's character in that is the worst person in the world, and Tom Holland's character is not, but it's mainly the fact that it deals with these like corrupt preachers while being a period piece. But just like There Will Be Blood, if it weren't for the fantastic performances, There Will Be Blood would also be a very boring movie. Everything surrounding the performances in this film really drags, like especially the first act, because you really only have Bill Skarsgård in that first act to hold it together. Everything else, I was getting really bored with the first act. I didn't really perk up and get excited and start watching like intently until Tom Holland and then Robert Pattinson showed up. Plus, you've got the side characters in Sebastian Stan and, like I said, Harry Melling. The main problem with this movie, though, is that the like subplots take forever for you to realize why they're even there, because Sebastian Stan plays like the sheriff of this tiny town, and he runs into Tom Holland's character when he's still a little boy in the first act, and it's not even until the end of the first act. And then you're just kind of following him along for the rest of the movie, and his sister is like doing this serial killer thing with her husband, and it's just like, what does this have to do with anything? And you don't even find out how it connects until the end of the movie. And on top of it just being really dragged out, I didn't care. I didn't care about this sister character and her husband and what they were doing. What they were doing was really screwed up and really gross and they're psychopaths. I just didn't care because I didn't see what the correlation was, aside from the fact that in this area, there are bad people. This next negative was actually a point made by Erica when we were watching it, and I wholeheartedly agree. There's some things in this movie that I feel like were just put in because they were in the book, but they don't like explain what they mean. They don't explain why it happened. It was just for people who read the book, they were like, oh, I know what that's about, or oh, I know why that's there, or oh, I know why they said that. It's almost as if to understand everything in this movie, reading the book should be a prerequisite, which should never be the case. And this isn't a negative or a positive. I just need to say it. Robert Pattinson's voice in this had Erica and me shook to the core. Because he is English. He's not in this. This is like in the deep south. So I was curious as to what his southern accent was going to sound like. Because for some reason, the English are really good at doing southern accents. This is not what I was expecting.
Delusions! Blaspheming the Lord in your mind and in your heart for some wrong done to you by another person.
Huh? Yeah. That's weird, isn't it? That was the most southern I have ever sounded. So was that. That was weird, isn't it? I ever sounded. Okay, I gotta stop talking about this movie because it's obviously doing something to me. And I don't like it. So, in the end, The Devil All the Time has fantastic performances from everyone all around. But it really drags, and to get the point hammered home, they take a really long roundabout way of doing it. Plus, not all of the characters, despite their good performances, I didn't care about them. So I am going to give The Devil All the Time a C+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have you seen The Devil All the Time yet? If you have, let me know down in the comments what you thought about it. Or, what is your favorite period piece drama in the vein of There Will Be Blood and this film? Whatever it is, put it down below and let me know. Don't forget to check out my social media. The links to all of that will be down in the description. But before you go there, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe so that I can see you guys next time.